to the Dawnstares Podcast, episode 3. I'm your host, Ash, as usual, and today we're joined by AS9091!
Andra Semesta. Hey!
Andra Semesta. We have Andra Semesta here. We also have no one else except the one that's gesturing to be a mystery guy.
Yeah, we have one mystery guy. We have one mystery guy.
We have one mystery guy. So I guess it's just double A and not triple A, huh? Okay. So it's episode 3. It's recorded on the 28th December 2014. I had my podcast last week's episode. I was just doing it all alone, so I appreciate you coming here and doing this with me.
Yeah,
so let's start with, what are you listening to these days? Besides the thing that we're going to discuss later.
What have I been listening? Just repeating my favorite albums of 2014, and then like also like actually it's related to what we're gonna talk about later, because I've been listening to some Weezer songs lately.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean I'm making my top 10 Weezer songs list. Yeah, and it's hard to limit that to just 10 songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your like homework, I guess. Just listening to Weezer songs and trying to whittle it down to 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me personally, I'm kind of, as far as new music is concerned, I've been listening to Weezer's Everything's Alright in the End again for the discussion we'll have later on. And then I've been listening to Between the Buried and Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. A really long while since I listened to
Yeah. They like back in October of this year, they came out with a live DVD, but it's not like a live DVD, as there's no crowd. It's just them in the studio. It's them performing Parallax to the Future sequence, just from front to back with live musicians, and I've been really digging into that. There's a video of that too online.
All right.
I think they put up Extremophile Elite for free. You can check that out. It's really good and stuff.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So I heard you went to an event last night.
Yeah, last night. It's a movie screening, a short film screening.
Okay.
Akar Dari Enam.
Okay.
It's a film by this, I guess you can call him like a movie making or visual group, like Vakansi Visual. And
sorry, can you repeat that?
Vakansi Visual.
Oh, Indonesian for vacancy?
Yeah.
Vakansi.
Yeah.
V-A...
Yeah, so visual vacancy, so...
Oh, okay. Vakansi, okay.
Visual. So, my friend Mika and Abbas is a part of that group, and Mika is the director of the film.
Nice.
And it was pretty cool. And I watched it. The mystery guest today also went there. Also...
Certainly did.
Oh, that voice.
Yeah.
So Akar Dari Enam. If you don't mind telling me what the movie was about.
It's kind of hard to explain because it's kind of like art film.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Art films have their purpose. Not every film needs to be Transformers, right?
And I mean there was a Q&A session and all that, and I think the approach was to put mystery into it. Mystery guest, could you help me out here?
This comes from the Q&A session itself. This comes from the director, straight from the director himself. And he said he wanted to write a film about nihilism. And at the beginning, he wanted to call the film Null, for zero, like null. And then, but he didn't like it. And so once he had a dream, and when he woke up, he was wondering, what is the square root of 6?
Okay.
So he decided to use that as the title. So he wanted to write about nihilism, but in the end, he said that the film is also about suicide. Okay. You know, he was pondering on the theme of suicide and like about how people would react. Exactly. Yes. Suicide and death.
Okay. So is it going to be screened again anytime soon? It seems like an interesting movie, and I want to watch it, but
no plans yet. They said at least not this year, not for the rest of the year. probably next year, but they're still not sure where. It's been asked a lot, that question, where it's going to be screened.
So do these guys have an internet presence, like for our listeners to know more about their thing?
Yeah, I think there's they have a website, vakansivisual.com.
Vakansivisual.com. That's VAKANSI Visual VISUAL. Vakansivisual.com.
Yeah,
and they can like their logo. Look at.
Oh yeah, their logo's
simple,
sleek, really nice.
You know, simple but really sleek. And they have a Facebook page too.
Right. Yeah. So square root of 6. Akar Dari Enam, which
Roots
is
of 6.
Roots of 6, sorry. Roots of 6, Akar Dari Enam, film by Vakansi Visual. Seems like a good time, I guess, if you like the art
stuff. It certainly
stuff.
makes you think.
It certainly makes you think. And if you want more information, please go to vakansivisual.com. So I've been, I looked at my Last FM lately, and there's this event, Mac Demarco is coming.
Yeah, Mac Demarco is coming to Jakarta,
Oh, when?
22nd
of January? Yeah. Of January. What do they sound like? I don't know anything about Mac Demarco.
Kind of like a slacker rock thing, you know, indie rock, slacker rock thing. It's the kind of thing that, I think I've heard his album once through Salad Days, his new album, and I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, supporting Mac Demarco is Jirapah. I need to see Jirapah live one of these days. Have you seen
Jirapah live?
Yeah,
I've seen Jirapah live, and they're cool. Really,
they're cool.
Really. They're really just.
Was it at Studio Rama? Was it at Studio Rama?
Yeah, that one time in Studio Rama I watched it, but the last one was in a local fest.id festival in Grand Indonesia.
Okay.
And I remember really enjoying their set there. You know, like, it's a solid band, Jirapah, really. What do you think?
Well, I'm really interested in listening to their EP. I think they're releasing vinyl. They have a 7-inch coming out.
Yeah, the song Soul.
Soul, and what's the B-side on that?
I can't remember, but I'm excited to collect
that. Yeah. I saw it. It's red and stuff. And it's really nice to see like local bands releasing on physical media, especially vinyl. Just because it's just cool to have like this physical thing that you can play rather than just a digital kind of sort of easily copyable thing. What do you think about the recent vinyl bands releasing in vinyl? Like Seringai, I think? Seringai released in vinyl, the Upstairs.
I plunged into that hole. So and Mystery Man too, he's all about that.
Did you get it?
The Seringai thing and the Upstairs.
And the Upstairs thing.
Both the Seringai. Yeah, maybe it's I don't know. It's kind of a throwback here for some reason. Like, both Seringai's High Octane Rock and the Upstairs Matraman were released in 2004.
Yeah,
and they were quite like classics, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they released it on vinyls in a time where people are crazy about vinyls, and so it all sold out really fast.
Yeah.
So, and I really enjoyed having. I really hold dear that Matraman vinyl in my hands. You know, like I got this gem
of an album
and of an era of Indonesian indie rock that's like really cool. And then and I hope we're entering another cold era in the music
another
world.
hot.
I hope we can get to that too. That's one thing I want to say. I think the current Indonesian the kind quote unquote indie experimental scene is really experimental and really brave.
Okay.
But I think the bands in the early 2000s and all of that have a I think have a songwriting that's more, I don't know, more potent, more solid, or something like that. I think I hope like the new experimentalist bravery of this current age and that soul, that spirit of songwriting and that indie age can blend in together, and then we can, you know, I don't know, just a thought.
It's okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I see the noise scene is happening.
Yeah.
And just a bunch of people like Ramayana Soul.
Yeah.
That kind of sort of combining like Kula Shakery ideas.
I mean, there are still a lot of
scrams,
good songs appearing, but I mean, I just feel like the AXA Records era or whatever, like the When White Shoes and Upstairs and Songwriter are coming out, like they have like really solid, like really memorable, iconic songs.
Okay.
The actual songwriting. Yeah.
All right. So. It's okay. Yeah. All right. So hold on. Let's take a break.
Okay.
This is the Dawnstares Podcast, and we're going back. And we're back. Okay, so for today's big discussion, as if that wasn't a big discussion before, I wanted us to discuss Mr. Gayer in this earth.
On what?
On what?
If it's Weezer,
I wanted to just. Oh, you listen to Weezer, you're out. Okay. So we're gonna go deep on Weezer's newest album, Everything Will Be Alright in the End. Yeah. Just a quick kind of sort of, where is your head at regarding this album? What does it say to you?
It's a good Weezer album. It's weird, like maybe it depends on my mood too or whatever, but I think a lot of people are saying this album is better than Hurley and Raditude.
I agree.
But personally, like I'm still closer to Raditude than Hurley.
Serious?
Yeah, it's hard to rank Weezer albums. Like
they're in their own different.
They are in different zones.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I like this album though. I like some songs from this album, like Da Vinci, Cleopatra.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of but maybe it's more personal thing. Maybe it just there are many other music and albums or whatever I listened to this year that connects more with me than Everything We Were in the End. But, so what do you want to say?
I love it. It's the best Weezer album. It's the best Weezer. Okay. Unpopular opinion alert. Okay. I didn't really connect with the Blue album and Pinkerton.
All right.
And Pinkerton especially. I didn't like it.
Okay, you don't like Pinkerton. Wow.
I didn't like Pinkerton. The Green album is a good collection of 10 pop songs, but that's pretty much it for me. Maladroit, that's a weird album to think about.
I like Maladroit.
Yeah, Burnt Jam.
Yeah, Burnt Jam, Keep Fishing.
Island in the Sun was on that.
Island in the Sun was on...
the Green album, and then they released Maladroit with Island in the Sun as a bonus track somehow in some regions.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
This is gonna sound like blasphemy again. My second favorite album is the Red album.
Yeah, that's okay, actually. That's not blasphemy. I like Red album.
I like the Red album too.
Yeah.
And Raditude and Hurley it's bottom half definitely of the 9. But I like this the best because I don't know. Maybe Rivers got really super meta with this one, didn't he? Please note that I'm not. All Weezer albums are good. That's my general opinion. We're just ranking between great and slightly more great here. Like I really like the fact that he kind of breaks the fourth wall over and over again on this album. When you get to Back to the Shack, and that was like I think the first Weezer song I heard from this, just from was it their first single, Back to the Shack? The first thing they kind of released to the public, I think. Like, let's see if we can find lyrics here. Like, oh yeah, he was talking about rocking out like it's 94.
Yeah, nice.
What was released in 94?
Blue Album.
The Blue Album, yeah. With the Strat, with the lightning strap.
Yeah.
I mean, it really got to the point where he was like obviously referring to his own career. That's the thing that gets me about this album, is he's like talking about himself really plainly, and like I guess as a songwriter myself, I can really like appreciate that bravery.
Okay.
To actually talk about it. And then he follows that up with Eulogy for a Rock Band. Which lyrical content, it's kind of like referring to a band kind of like Weezer.
Yeah. So basically it's about Weezer, yeah, about Rivers and Weezer, this album.
Yeah, and the thing that gets me about this album is that he's talking about himself in new ways that he was kind of sort of not doing for the last 8 albums. I mean, I think in the past, like as a songwriter, and I think you can relate to this, okay, you always end up talking about yourself, at least your views. And
about talking about Rivers himself and the band itself, I think there's something. I'm thinking about the first track, Ain't Got Nobody.
Okay.
It's kind of third person. Like it's like I thought like Rivers is now a happy man with a family and a wife.
Kyoko Cuomo, shouts out to Kyoko.
Shouts out to Kyoko. And I think that came purely out of imagination. Ain't Got Nobody thing. So even though there are tracks that are really biographical, like really reflecting themselves, like Back to the Shack and
Eulogy for a Rock Band.
Eulogy for a Rock Band. I think there are some imagination too. There.
That's like, the next thing I wanted to
from the first track itself. Ain't Got Nobody. What the hell? You're not. I can't know his personal life, but I think from the outside we see. I think he's doing fine and whatever.
It goes into the next thing I want to talk about this, because that's the thing I said already. The thing I appreciate about this album is this willingness to talk about himself. In Back to the Shack, and then Eulogy for a Rock Band, and then he immediately follows up with Lonely Girl, which is like this pure imagination type song, and then he goes back to being semi-autobiographical with I've Had It Up to Here, which I think one of the lyrics is not wanting to dilute his message and doesn't want to be mainstream and doesn't want to be like, he's not a happy meal, quote unquote. That's his thing. He doesn't want to be prepackaged for the masses, but then he writes Go Away. What is that about? Like, what do you think? Like, there's lots of conflicting things Rivers is trying to say to us, even in his imagination songs. Like, he's kind of I kind of imagine like Rivers seeing this album and shaking like, what did I do here? Like,
I mean, talking about conflicting, even I think the album cover is kind of conflicting. Like, there's the text says everything will be alright in the end, but there's a monster appearing. I think maybe that kind of reflects the conflicting things you feel about the album.
He feels about the album. Yeah. It's like he's writing songs about he's writing about himself and his lack of success. Back to the Shack. He's writing about his own band from the perspective of other people. Eulogy for a Rock Band. He's writing about his kind of sort of relationship with the fans. I've Had It Up to Here. He's writing about kind of third person, but I think he's writing about himself and his relation with his father in Foolish Father. And then he's kind of mining that old 1994 material, 1994 mindset, I want to say, like Ain't Got Nobody, Lonely Girl, and Go Away, when he just wants to write these pop songs. But some people might view like the quote unquote pop songs like Go Away and Lonely Girl as the thing that he's trying not to do in I've Had It Up to Here. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why we can't answer this because we're not Rivers and we're not Weezer.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's the reason why I like this album so much, is because it really shows the cracks in his artistic mindset.
I think maybe as an artist, as a musician, like Rivers Cuomo is content enough with. I think he already expresses a lot enough that now he's in that phase, in that part of his career where he's just comfortable with doing whatever he feels, and maybe that's his album. Maybe we're giving. I mean, like you're giving it a lot of thoughts about this meta things. Maybe it's just like this. Yeah, he just writes whatever he feels, and then he doesn't give it too many thoughts or something. Maybe that's the truth to it.
Maybe, yeah.
yeah. Actually, it's just an abstract thing or whatever.
Maybe he was thinking about it in the last album, like Gratitude and Hurley.
Yeah.
When he did kind of meta thing in the Red album, didn't he? Heart Songs?
Yeah.
That felt really. I know this is like going out of bounds of the 9th album, but his meta-ness kind of showed in Heart Songs. I think that was the first kind of sort of I really want to talk about myself now type songs.
Alright.
Like kaya like in the Blue album he was talking about himself because that was the only material that was available to him. And then in Pinkerton he was also talking about himself, but in a position not necessarily like a giant rock star that he was. He is regarded now, if not a rock star, just a really respected rock figure. Yeah. He wasn't that in the Blue album and the Pinkerton. And then when he came out with the Green album, he just wanted to do these rock songs, and people kind of people are fickle, don't you think? Like when Pinkerton came out, everyone hated Pinkerton, and then as 4 years later, he came out with a Green album, and why don't you do Pinkerton? Why don't you do Pinkerton? Expectations and stuff like that. And
I remember Red album when it came out. For a lot of people, it's kind of weird as well. But then along the way, I see like Weezer fans like you and like this cousin of mine saying it's one of the best. Or something. Yeah. So yeah,
I think. It goes back to the fact that he's writing about himself again. And I think that's the reason why I like this album so much, is because he is in a rock band. That's why let's write about being in a rock band. You know, stuff like that. I have conflict with the fans. Let's write about that. Yeah. I want to write a song about a love thing that didn't go, let's just do that. I mean, it's like, I guess the thing that you're saying is, now that you say it, he's not overthinking this.
Yeah.
He's just doing it. And maybe that's the reason why the album title is called that. Everything will be alright in the end. I mean, he's finally found peace about his immediate instinct to do stuff, rather than overthink it. Like he did in, let's say, Gratitude. You know, I mean, kaya I appreciated the things he did in Gratitude. Maybe admittedly in the kind of ironic way. I mean, like Can't Stop Partying, that's a hoot, but that's not him. I think the thing I took away from this album is he's finally okay about writing about himself and not overthinking it. Like, he wants to write a pop song, so let's write Da Vinci. You know? And then, you know what I want to do? I want to do a suite of songs that has all guitar solos on it.
The Futurescope
trilogy. And I guess that's what gets me say about this album is I feel, I don't know if it's the truth or not, but I feel like listen to this, I'm finally hearing what Rivers wants to do. And the band, I guess. without any overthinking. Actually, now that you say it, that's probably the point of this album. That's me. Any final thoughts?
Weezer rocks.
Weezer rocks. Weezer rocks. Okay, with that, a definitive statement. It's the end of the Dawnstares Podcast. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe on YouTube if you like what we're saying. We'll strive for better podcasts in the future for sure. But if you have any comments or complaints, please tell us in the YouTube comment section or in Facebook or whatever. We'll subscribe to that. If you have any ideas for future topics, please tell us. If you have any events you want to talk about, please tell us. And if you have anything you want to recommend to us, we're definitely there because we're starved for quality entertainment. And that's it. I've been Ash. That's Andra Semesta, mystery guy.
Don't mind me.
Okay. Don't mind the mystery guy. So see ya. Bye. Love you.